So recently, I don't know if y'all have ever played this game, but it's another post-apocalyptic zombie game called State of Decay 2. And I used to make quite a bit of content over this in the past. For those of you that keep up with my uploads, y'all should know. Recently, an update actually got me pretty interested in the game again. So in this video, I'm going to be reading off to you the patch notes within this 18.3 gigabyte massive update for State of Decay 2. I'm just going to round it up to 20 for the title since it's so close to 20. Just 2 gigabytes off. It's insane how big this update is. The developers worked really hard on this for the players. And this deserves more attention. So if you could maybe consider taking a little bit of your time and leaving a like on the video, that'd be greatly appreciated because it helps get the video more passed around on YouTube. But as always, that's totally up to you if you want to take the time to do so. But before I get into this, I just want to let you all know real quick, in case you guys don't know, I am about to be doing a giveaway over on my Instagram. I'm going to be giving away 3 $100 Amazon gift cards, possibly even 5, depending on how well my channel starts to do here in the future. I'm going to be posting the giveaway over on my Instagram in about a week or two, so if you aren't following it, I highly suggest to, so you can keep up to date with this giveaway that I'll be doing. It's going to be one of my last giveaways that I'll do on this channel for a little while. The reason why I'm doing this giveaway is because my channel has been doing pretty well here lately, and I decided I'd give back to y'all to show my appreciation for all the support. But yeah, now let's go ahead and get into this massive update for State of Decay 2. Now I'm going to be reading the patch notes, but I'm not going to keep the patch notes pulled up because I know it'd be kind of boring just sitting here watching me read these. So I'm also going to be showing gameplay over one of the new maps that we got within this update while I'm reading off all of these. So just sit back, relax, and listen in. So first things first, they created a brand new map for players to explore, and it's described as a rugged logging town named Providence Ridge, which you can see me playing on it currently. I have to admit, it is pretty fun to play on. They also completely rebuilt the post-tutorial experience to better teach players the key factors over playing the game. So if you're a brand new player just starting out, they have a new tutorial system that should give you a better experience starting out, which is pretty nice to know. They also added a whole new category of heavy melee weapons that reward player skill and timing, which I was looking more into this, like the team really went out on the audio even for the heavy melee weapons, which is something that we highly underlook as players. You know, the sound effects over using each and every weapon. They really went all out with these. And I have to say, they do sound pretty good in game. They also revised many aspects of their user interface from the main menu screens to the map screen. They also improved the controller scheme, including splitting dodge and stealth into separate buttons. The developers also improved a wide range of graphical improvements that you can really see within the gameplay if you played State of Decay 2 from the beginning. They made better lighting and foliage optimization for better performance. They also improved the audio experience, like I was mentioning before, including additional music and effects and fine-tuning the overall mix. And they fixed dozens of mission and gameplay bugs to ensure a better experience for all players. So yeah, that's just the beginning of these patch notes. Oh man, it gets into some major details. So getting further into this, as you can see, new platforms and cross-platform support. Juggernaut Edition is available with any Xbox Game Pass subscription and can still be purchased on Xbox One or Windows 10 stores. And now for the first time, State of Decay 2 will also be available to PC players via Steam and the Epic Game Stores. Pretty cool. All versions of the game are fully multiplayer compatible, and you can always invite and play with your friends through Xbox Live no matter which store or platform you have chosen. So that's solid news right there. Now they're bringing the community more together where they have cross-platform going on in game. I wish more games would go cross-platform, but I know it's kind of difficult to do that for every game out there, but still, really awesome to see them taking this step. Okay, so next up here within the patch notes, they go over how all of the DLCs will be included within this massive Juggernaut update. And not to mention, if you are an original player who already has all the DLCs, well, you get a bunch of bonus prestige points, as well as some special outfits too. Here's an example over some of the special outfits that you'll get. So it's pretty cool to see them rewarding their original players with some outfits and prestige points instead of, you know, them rewarding original players with nothing. And also they're introducing more players to all the DLCs now, since it all comes within this one massive update. It's kind of simplifying as well as unifying players in a way, which isn't a bad thing. Gets everybody on the same boat in a sense. Next up here is the new map, which you're seeing gameplay of this currently. Once again, It looks really nice. It's called Providence Ridge. And to get into detail about this new map, Providence Ridge was a town in flux when the outbreak hit. The rustic charms of an old logging town are clearly apparent in the architecture and industrial nature of many neighborhoods. However, you can also see how the modern world is actively invading this area, from espresso stands that appropriate the town's longtime mascot to the new housing development being built on the west edge of the map. As the first new map added to the core game, we wanted to make sure Providence Ridge matched the established tone of State of Decay, while also building new elements to our world building. For inspiration, the team drew on our experiences living in or near the many current or former logging towns that are so common in the Pacific Northwest, and they have to admit that they are proud of the results, and they hope you enjoy exploring this new town and discovering everything it has to share. Providence Ridge features 5 new bases to claim for your own. Also, they use environmental storytelling to provide subtle hints about the nature of this town before and during the outbreak, as some of you might be familiar with when playing Fallout. There's always like skeletons or just things laying around that kind of give a little bit of a backstory over what happened or what was going on before this town became abandoned, or that place specifically became abandoned. The map also introduces more verticality than previous maps, with significant elevation changes from one region to another, which, as you guys have been seeing during this gameplay, makes for some interesting situations. Also, the developers mentioned to keep your eye out for the town mascot, the flannel-clad Sasquatch known as Shaggy Jack. He may turn up in some unexpected places. And speaking of unexpected places, Providence Ridge has some secrets hiding off the beaten path. Those who search may be rewarded. Wonder what kind of secrets they're talking about. I may cover those in a future video. For those of you that are watching this that know of any secrets or Easter eggs, feel free to comment them down below explaining their whereabouts, so maybe in the future I could compile a bunch of secrets and Easter eggs in one video to help the community out a little bit more. It's totally up to you though if you want to take the time to do so. I just thought that would make an interesting video for the State of Decay 2 community. Anyways, next up here they go over the new bases, which, as you just heard previously, there is a total of 5 new bases. First one, as you can see here for an example, is called Firewatch Fortress. Next one, Rusty Roses. I'm not going to read their description because I don't want to make this video super long. And next up we got Weston Builder Supply. It's a fenced warehouse. Next base up here is called Prescott Fire Station. As you can see, here's what that looks like. And lastly we got Lundegard Lumber Mill, which, as you can see, this is what that looks like. A small preview of what it looks like, I should say. Anyways, next up in these patch notes, we got the new combat style, which is heavy weapons. This was actually requested from the community, so it goes to show the developers are listening to what the community wants in their game. So this new combat style comes with Power Hit. This is the new attack unlocked by the Powerhouse specialization. You gotta hold the attack button with the heavy weapon in your hand and then release to execute a powerful uppercut swing and send zombies flying. The next one is Cross Check. You can press the jump button while facing an enemy to quickly interrupt them. Good if you need an alternative to a big, slow swing. And you can unlock the Flying Strike within the acrobatics skill for a more deadly version. And lastly, Heavy Finisher. The ground execution move for a heavy weapon can also hit other zombies standing nearby. The game also includes 10 new heavy weapons at the launch of Juggernaut Edition, with more on the way, of course, in the future. So here's some of them that you can expect within the game. We got a double-sided axe, a hog splitter, a big old shovel, a dry shaft club, a sledgehammer, a coffee can mace. Now that's an interesting post-apocalyptic weapon. Splitting maul, a saw blade sword. That sounds pretty sweet. And lastly, a groundbreaker shovel. Some pretty interesting weapons there. So next I'm going to briefly explain what else was added, because there's just loads of information within these patch notes, and I don't want to read off every single little detail. But next up here we got the new starter experience, which is what I was mentioning in the beginning of this video. So basically this makes it more simplified for newer players hopping on board. They actually took the time and asked experienced players what they were a bit confused about when first starting out. So yeah, that's something pretty interesting to know. So if you're a brand new player to this, you're going to be welcomed pretty nicely. Next up here, they go over the revised user interface, which just basically is going over how they tried to simplify the game a bit more so players have easier access to certain things and just be able to easily understand the game more in a sense. As you can see, here is an example of the title screen. They simplified that. They also simplified how we see the missions. They also made it so all game modes will be included in the title screen, such as Daybreak and Heartland. So yeah, they can be directly accessed from the main menu. You can also now easily access your legacy pool to view and edit the list of characters available for future communities. I mean, they just have a whole list of new things that they try to do to once again simplify the game. And next up here, they go over revised controls, which once again goes toward trying to simplify the game so players that are just hopping on board will be able to, easily understand it and get the hang of it quickly. And next up here, I wanted to get more into detail about this, and this is the graphical improvements. I'm not going to read off every single little detail that they did for graphical improvements, but I'm going to be showing you all the previews that they have for us within these patch notes. Starting out with this one. Check it out. Yeah. Really nice. You can definitely see the difference there within that improvement. Next up here, we have a night before and after improvement. So that's the after, and that's the before. Once again, you can majorly see the difference with just this little preview here that they're showing. Next up here, we have the environmental graphical improvements. Check this out. Bam! Yeah, they are really going at it trying to improve this game. I actually heard that they really expanded their team too, so now they have more people working on State of Decay 2, which is nice. Because I heard Undead Labs used to be a pretty small team back in the day. It's nice they're finally expanding it so they have more efficiency. But yeah, here is graphical improvements toward the survivors. As you can see, now you can notice that there's grime and just dust on the character, which this varies on your character depending on the morale with them. But yeah, pretty cool to know that they're improving survivors too. Next up here is just an overall visual improvement comparison of before and after. Check this out. You can majorly once again see the difference with the environment, the lighting, the sky, the Juggernaut itself, and the rendering distance too, not to mention. But yeah, that's all the previews they gave with the graphical improvements. Next up here we have the audio improvements. Like I was mentioning before, they really went ham with trying to improve sound effects, which is nice. I actually heard that they went out to Universal Studios and just got to use a bunch of props to help improve their sound effects. And lastly up here, the developers go over other updates, which this is basically going over the bug fixes and overall quality of life improvements, which technically they didn't have to fix these bugs nor do the quality of life improvements, but overall it really helps the game feel more polished. And they squashed a lot of bugs and, not to mention, did a lot of quality of life improvements to make the game once again feel more polished. I mean, just look at all of these. I don't want to sit here and read them all off to y'all, but yeah, as you can see, just loads of things that were fixed and improved upon. And once again, they didn't have to technically do this. Some of these were recommended from the community to put in the game, and not to mention a lot of the bugs that they fixed were brought to the developers' attention from the community. So the State of Decay 2 community really helped improve this game, and they're going to continue helping improve this game. But here's one for example. As you can see over here, it says community requests from our wish list. The description of hiking packs no longer claim that they are low profile when clearly they are the size of a small car. So yeah, this is something once again the developers didn't have to do, but they just decided to, just because the community was wanting it. But yeah, I guess that's our wrapping up this video, everybody. Hopefully you found this enjoyable. I just wanted to bring more attention to this massive update that just came into State of Decay 2. If you haven't played the game, I highly recommend to check it out, especially right now with all of this new stuff that just came into the game, and not to mention improvements. And if you played State of Decay 2 and you just haven't played it in a while, I highly recommend to hop back on it and try it out again, because once again there's a brand new map that we can explore around on, and not to mention new weapons that we can play around with now. But yeah, before I completely wrap this up, once again, for a friendly reminder, if you could maybe take a little bit of your time and leave a like on the video to help get this information more passed around on YouTube so more people can know that this update came within State of Decay 2. Sadly, this game doesn't get as much attention as other games, and it deserves attention. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really fun post-apocalyptic game. And if you're new around here, consider giving my channel a chance and sticking around subscribing. As always though, all of that is totally up to you. Also, if you want, feel free to check out my Instagram once again down below in the description if you're interested in that large giveaway that I'll be doing over there. I'll be posting the giveaway over there here soon, so stay tuned for that. I'm out of here though, everybody. Thanks for taking the time, watching and listening. Until next time, peace.